right, so what was the question again?
How do you meditate?
How do you meditate? Well, I think the first distinction that people need to make is the difference between meditation and prayer, right? Because prayer is when you're talking to God, but meditation is when God is talking to you. You know, meditation is a state of stillness, calming everything down, and just being in the moment. Nothing else matters. Just being in the moment, because the moment that you're in right now is the only time that really, really exists. The past is dead. The future hasn't happened yet. Only thing that matters is what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Because anything that is not right now is something that your mind is making up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be thinking about bills or thinking about things at the job or whatever. None of that has nothing to do with what you're doing right now. Is just being still. That's one of the things that people, especially like on the Western hemisphere, needs to understand is be still. Everything is so get them, 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 that nobody is really enjoying the moment because they're either trapped by their past, or tortured by their past, or trapped by insecurities of the future. But have you ever heard of the scripture, be still and know that I am God? God is a small, still voice. This is, around right now, is the time that you'll hear God the most, in nice, quiet nature, sitting around his wonderful creation. But think about all the times that we're not around his wonderful creation. It's so noisy. You know what I'm saying? I remember my pastor used to get at us talking about, the kids always just got music blasting in their ears 24/7 all the time, and I didn't get it then, but I get it now. It's like, at what point do we have any peace just to relax and chill, and just be one with nature? You know what I'm saying, for the moment. You know, but to go even deeper, or the purpose of meditation is to remember who you are. You're not learning anything. You're not learning anything from me. The only thing I'm doing is helping you, point you towards you. It's the only thing. So I'm gonna give you an example, because a lot of times people say know thyself. That's like a thing that everybody's saying, know thyself, know thyself, know thyself. And when most of the time when most of the people say know thyself, they're speaking about their history or their physical people who look like this history, be it the Moors, be it the Egyptians, be it some of the natives that was here, so on and so forth. And that's good to know. That's good knowledge to know, but that's not yourself. That's not knowledge of self. That's knowledge of your history. So when we talk about knowledge of yourself, this is what we mean, and I'm gonna give you an example. Say the sentence to yourself without using your mouth. Say it silently to yourself. I am seeing my future. To yourself on 3. 1, 2, 3. Now the question to ask yourself is, what voice just spoke? On top of that, what ear just heard you say, I am seeing my future? Now, do that same thing. Say, I am seeing my future to yourself, but actually visualize what your future is. Create your future. Visualize your future as you're saying, I am seeing my future on 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, what sight just saw your future when you're looking at me? You're looking at me. Your two eyes are looking at me, but yet you saw your future. So now what you're proving to yourself is that you have another way of seeing, another way of hearing, another way of speaking, and another way of moving while you're sitting right here. That's outside of your body's faculties. Furthermore, which is even more important, is that you prove to yourself that you're able to see beyond your current environment right now. So just as you saw your future right now, see your future when you're not in such beautiful surroundings. When you're in the middle of hell, see your future that's beyond the current environment that you are right now, And when you do that, your body will follow. Your body listens to yourself's affirmation about itself. You understand? The voice that said, I am seeing my future, that's the voice that dictates your body's physical existence. The reason that we're here right now is because my voice that said, I am seeing my future, saw this moment. Am I lying?
No.
She know because she's lived with me. I'm like, yo, this is, you coming right here right now is the manifestation of my purpose. I didn't know that the day that I happened to take off, I didn't know that you happened to be off today as well. We both happen to have free time. But that's just how precise the universe is on everything. And not only how precise the universe is, that's how precise you are. Because there's no difference between you and the universe. That voice that said, it's the universe. That's you. That's what it really means to know thyself. Now that you know yourself, now you can actually love yourself. Now you can create yourself. Now you can have self-esteem. Now you can have what all the things that self is normally attached to, you can have that fully and honestly because you actually know what yourself actually is. The voice that said, the voice that's able to see your future, speak without speaking, hear without hearing. This is the voice to work out of to be to be successful over this physical world that we're living in now. This is how you have victory over the streets. This is how this is the manifestation of the scripture says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Because he that is in you is the one that just said. And it's true that it's in everybody, but not everybody is conscious of it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're conscious of it. And now that you're conscious of it, you can't go back to the same way no more. Now you're fully responsible of your self's affirmation about itself. So practice this. You know what I'm saying? Because you have images outside of yourself all the time telling you who you are. You have the media telling us that we're this. We have the churches telling us that we're this. We have your bosses telling me that you're this. You got boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, they're saying that you're this. But the question is who do you say you are? Who do you say you are, and what do you say you do? Those are the two questions that you really only need to answer. Who am I, and what do I do? When you really zone in on answering those two questions, the universe is going to make everything else happen for you. I am living proof. You being here right now is living proof. Me being here right now is living proof. This is just the mental projection that I had of myself over a few months ago. Right? This is the mental projection of when we first talked on the phone. You remember, you know what I'm saying, we did this over the phone. But I saw us talking here. And right now it's only you. Watch the next time. It might be another person right there. Watch the next time. It's going to be another person right there. Because this is how we're all connected. I'm helping you find your purpose, and you're helping me realize mine. This is how we're all one. Now, how does all this go back into meditation? Meditation is realizing that beyond the flesh is that voice. Behind this is, this flesh here is the only thing that's dividing me from you, you from me from Naima, me from Nubi, whatever. Is this flesh, this rock, this whatever. These things that we see like this, the only thing that's dividing us, quote, from. So, in actuality, this is the universe speaking to itself. The universe wants to be more aware of itself, so the universe in me is talking to the universe in you. Maybe you have heard this saying called Namaste. I don't know, maybe you've seen it on Facebook and stuff like that. That's what that term means. The God in me bows to the God in you. The only difference between me and you and I, us and us, is I've been on this path for a little bit longer and I'm a little bit more conscious of it. But once you wake up from it, we're back to being equal. The only thing, that's the only thing that needs to change